Hey guys, you already know who I am. I am Mykell Mathieu, and today is Tuesday, January 10th, and you know what it is. These are the break. These
And
are
these
the
are
breaks.
the breaks.
These are the breaks. You know what it is. Hey, I thank you guys for joining me this week in rainy California. If somebody ever told you it doesn't rain in California, clearly they lie because it is going crazy here in LA. But it was raining yesterday. A bunch of tears for the fans of TCU as Georgia took home back to back college football championships as they destroyed TCU 65-7. How many of you guys turned away from the game? I know a lot of people did. It was crazy. It was disgusting. It was embarrassing for TCU to show up and give that performance. They played at the beautiful SoFi Stadium here in Los Angeles, California. What a game for Georgia. What a week. Shout out to the college football playoffs committee for putting together a great week. Me being a media member there, they did a great job. For the fans, for the fan central, if you missed it, you missed a great thing. Media day was amazing, but we all kind of knew. We all kind of had our picks. We knew that Georgia was here to take care of business. They weren't facing Michigan. They got through the test of Ohio State. They weren't facing USC. We knew that they would take care of business, and they did exactly that. A shout out to Stetson Bennett, who, man, what a story he has. Story of perseverance. The guy came on as a walk-on in Georgia. Didn't get any play, left, play junior college football, came back, was a backup, an injury to JT Daniels, and then he became the guy and never looked back. He may go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks in the college football playoff era. Two-time champ, SEC champ. He won MVP in every playoff game that he played in. Finished his career with a 6-touchdown performance against TCU. Shout out to Georgia. They did their things. I know it's going crazy in Athens, Atlanta. They're partying, but we all expected this to happen. It was a matchup with TCU going in. I thought that Georgia would, take care of business and win by a couple touchdowns, and they did exactly that. But man, 65-7. Who predicted that one? What an embarrassing performance. A 58-point win is the largest in college football history. That's BCS and college football playoffs. So now we're going to have to, move forward to next year and see if Georgia can do what Shaq and Kobe did here in LA, and that's go back to back to back. We're going to have our eyes on it, but they lose some star players. Stetson Bennett, of course, is going to be out of there, the 25-year-old, fifth-year senior. And then you have Georgia's D lineman, Jalen Carter, who declares for the NFL draft. And that guy, just meeting him up person, being able to talk to him, the guy is huge. And for him to move as fast as he does and how he was able to lead that dominating defensive line, I know he's a guy that has a chance to go number one to the Chicago Bears. He reminds me a lot of a Chris Jones, for the Chiefs. So I'm very excited to see where his career is going to go. And Kirby Smart is clearly the smartest guy in college football today. The way he recruits, how he attacks the transfer portal now, and how he is putting this team together to where now we're looking at Alabama as an afterthought. So we're going to see going forward if Georgia can keep it up, because right now they are my favorite going into next year because they're going to have a lot of defensive players back, running backs, weapons on the outside. It's going to be some exciting football next year, but what a performance. Shout out to Georgia for doing their thing, playing some dominating football at the beginning of the year to now. It has people wondering, is this the best college football team we've ever seen? I know we have to go back to USC days, to the great Miami teams, 2019, LSU, Joe Burrow and those guys. You guys got to let me know. Of course, you can always comment down below, but I don't think they're number one, but maybe they are. But I know they gave us a performance here in LA. We thought we would see something better, but Georgia is that team. We're looking forward to next year. Hey, I'll be back after this break, baby. Welcome back. It is your guy here, Mr. Mykell Mathieu himself. So I went from college football. You know I have to take you to the pros. And we're going to start off with some great news. We all know about the scare with Damar Hamlin, but the injured Buffalo Bills safety has been discharged to a Buffalo hospital. He is doing well. Thank God. Shout out to all of the prayers. Shout out to all the love that this guy has received. And it's all showing up. This guy is there with Buffalo. I know his guys are charged up. We saw what happened in the game against New England. You get a kick return to start off the game. I know that energy is great there in Buffalo, but we're so happy that Damar is at home there in Buffalo with his guys. Now we got to get ready for this playoff run, and the NFL playoffs has begun. It is here. It starts this Saturday. We have two big time games. I can't wait to see it. Me being a Kansas City Chief fan, we wait until the playoffs anyway. So it is here. We are excited for Wild Card Weekend. Is going to be great. One of the greatest weekends in sports. No lie, because you're seeing the best football that you will see the entire season. So I'm excited for it. I'm going to give you my picks later in the show, so make sure that you guys stay with me. But I have to move along because a lot of teams are doing exactly that. Even the teams who didn't make the playoffs, the Broncos are in search of a coach. They're going to interview Michigan's coach, Jim Harbaugh. You heard that they are looking to talk to Sean Payton, which is going to be a unique situation because they don't have a first-round draft pick to trade for him. They're going to also interview Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris. They're trying to take away from the still defending champion Los Angeles Rams. But, the coaching carousel is going to be starting up. You're going to hear a lot of names being thrown around. Hopefully, Eric Bieniemy, offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, can finally get a job. So we will see with that. The Panthers, who finished the season so strong, they ended the season 7-10, but look so much better. They are going to be looking for a coach as well. They have requested an interview with Bills offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. So, be on the lookout. It's going to be a lot of names being thrown around because it always moves when it comes to the coaches after teams come up shorter than their expectations. So make sure that you guys follow along because I know I will, and I will be talking about it here on the break. But you got Aaron Rodgers. We have to talk about this. Is Aaron Rodgers done in Green Bay? He has his deal, $60 million guaranteed. But is it that time for Green Bay to say, hey, we need a new beginning? I know LaFleur is over there saying, hey, I drafted this guy, Jordan Love. I want to get a chance to coach my guy. So maybe this is the perfect time to make a change. They had to move on from Brett Favre. You got Aaron Rodgers. Now, maybe it's that time to move on from Aaron Rodgers to see what you have in a Jordan Love. You're going to get some great draft capital by trading Aaron Rodgers. Maybe you trade him to Vegas, to a team like that. Maybe you trade him to the Saints who feel that they may be close. I don't know what you do, but I do think that it is time for LaFleur to have full control, and you do so by allowing him to coach the quarterback that he handpicked as his first overall pick, and that is Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers is forever a Lambeau Green Bay Packer great, but we saw Sunday night that it's just something's just off with him. He's just not there, and he just may not be that guy anymore. They have young weapons. You have Christian Watson. You have Romeo Dobbs. You have Tunyon there. You have the two running backs. I think it's that time to give Jordan Love some time and let him play, and then you can figure out what to do with Aaron Rodgers, and he can maybe have a Brady impact somewhere. So I'm excited to see this offseason for the Green Bay Packers to see if they finally do make that change, because it looks like LaFleur is going to for sure be back. But hey, Green Bay Packer fans, let me know, what do you guys think? Should you guys move on from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love, or should Aaron Rodgers come back and you try to make one Super Bowl push? I don't know. That's why I'm not a GM of the Green Bay Packers. But if it was me, it would be farewell, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. We don't need that discount no longer here. But hey, make sure you guys stay with me. I will be back after another break. Hey, I'm excited to talk about football, baby. Make sure you be ready for my predictions at the end of the show.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Hey, welcome back. Thank you for staying with me, guys. So I have to take you from the gridiron to the hardware with some hardwood with some NBA news. It's been crazy. It's been a lot of buckets being given out this year. And the question is, what's behind the uptick in the scoring for the NBA? Last season, we saw a total of 37 40-point games. This season so far, we're already at 92. Which is a crazy, crazy number. What is it? What do you guys think? Is it the player development? Is it the rule changes? I think it's a little bit of both. I think that players are really working on their game. You got these bigs who can dribble and shoot threes. We have players doing so much. Because think about it. You get to learn from all of the history of the NBA, to learn moves, to learn shooting, to learn ball handling drills and all these things. So these guys are at the peak of their performance when it comes to players. But then we can't deny that it's also the rule change. Basketball, especially during the regular season, is clearly less physical. It gives you some AAU style of basketball. It's kind of like we roll the ball out. Of course, we're going to run some sets, but just go out there and play. And if you can't be physical, you can't hand check, you don't have a center at the rim because everybody's shooting threes. So imagine being a young Michael Jordan. You drive to the rim, your power forward, the players guarding him is there. Your center, the player guarding him is there. And you have your player that's guarding you. It's bunched up when you try to drive inside for a layup. But today's basketball, you get by your man, you have a dunk or layup most of the time, which leads to guys having to help kick out threes. So you're going to see a lot of guys lighting it up. You're going to see scores of 130, 140, which is going to lead to what? Guys scoring 40-point games, and to guys like James Harden, Luka Doncic, who showed also that the NBA with the rules has also leaned more towards individual basketball, where guys are controlling the basketball like never before. Can you imagine if Kobe was able to play point guard and was bringing the ball up and was clearly making all of the decisions until the final seconds of the shot clock, not just in key moments, but every play? That's what you're getting more than ever today. And it started with a guy like James Harden. And that's what you see with Luka. And now you're seeing it with guys like Tatum and all of these guys, Donovan Mitchell. especially when their guys are out with injury. We have never seen individual basketball like this ever before because of there's less physicality. So guys know that they can just play and play and play and go get buckets. So I think it's a little bit of both. You guys let me know if I'm wrong or not. But I think a lot of it is the rule changes. But of course, times has gone on. Guys are becoming better basketball players and doing so much and adding so much to their game that you're going to see crazy scoring until they change the rules to make it once physical again. And that's why basketball in the playoffs is so different and really matters and lets you know who are the true greats, because that's when the physicality is added, man. So I have to move on. We're here in rainy California, Los Angeles, California. The Lakers, they finally took a loss, man. They were on a 5-game winning streak. The Nuggets took care of business there in Denver. No LeBron James. He was out because of a sore ankle. But the Lakers, who everyone tried to give up on, are still hanging around. The Lakers are only 1.5 games out of the 6th seed. Think about that. The Lakers could be the 6th seed with another 5-game winning streak, which is crazy because they've been without uh, Anthony Davis, who has looked like the best player on this team so far this season. He's close, though. He's close to a return. I know all of us Laker fans are very excited because we know with a healthy Anthony Davis in the West that is wide open. You don't really know who the premier team is. I know the Warriors are coming. Steph is close to a return. But the Lakers have a chance. It's just going to come down to health. And we got to see if the Lakers are going to be willing to make a move. Are the Lakers going to be reluctant to trade those first round picks? We're going to have to see. Pelinka has a plan clearly, but it starts off with a healthy Anthony Davis. So hopefully he can come back and look like the same guy that the Lakers were seeing before he went down with the injury. LeBron, he let us know he doesn't care really about this scoring title. He knows that it's great. He knows that it's going to be something amazing for his legacy. But he told us that was never on his mind. So he wants to win championships, and he's still chasing that ghost of the one and only Michael Jordan. So I know he's going to try his best to help the Lakers move forward and bring home another title here in Tinseltown. But let's move on. We have to talk about the NBA All-Star voting because we are close. Next month, the All-Star game returns. And I have a question for everyone because I think that it's close that we take a little power from, the fans out there because this voting is insane and needs to stop. There's a lot of guys that should be much higher, like De'Aaron Fox, that are being outvoted because, fans love for certain teams. If you're in Sacramento, you don't have that many fans. You just have fans that are in Sacramento. But you look at the voting there. Of course, LeBron is going to be on top of the West. He's the most popular player in the NBA. But you look at a guy like my guy Russ, who is the front runner for the Sixth Man of the Year award. Austin Reeves, they're top 10 in the West when it comes to the backcourt and voting. Like, come on, man. Like, this is a joke. We have to allow the fans to do their thing, but we have to also give the power to the players, GMs, and coaches as well when it comes to this. But a lot of times we pretty much know who the starters are going to be. But I'm pretty sure some of these players are like, damn, like this is what fans think about me. I can only get this many votes. So it's crazy. Then you have the situation with Kyrie. He could possibly be starting in the All-Star game, which I am a fan of his talent, but I know not a lot of people are a fan of what he does off the court. But it clearly shows it's a popularity contest, and I guess that's what the NBA wants, and that's what the fans vote for. They don't go and look at the numbers and who's the best ballers this year. They just look at the names. So that's why you have it. But I do think that we have to give a little bit more power to the players to help, get some of these votes into who they believe to really start. Because, of course, a guy like Kevin Durant name is powerful, and he's going to be in there. But should Jason Tatum not be a starter? Or should Kevin Durant, Embiid, and Giannis be above Jason Tatum, who's a lot of guys front runner for MVP? I don't know. Good thing I don't make those decisions, but we'll see. But hopefully we get a little bit of change to help out guys like that. A guy like Tatum can, be a starter over a KD, Embiid, or Giannis Antetokounmpo. The NBA trade season is still here. We're getting closer and closer to the deadline. What will the Lakers do? Will they get rid of those first-round picks? Will they try to make a move, or will they stand pat and say we're going to play out with what we have? And remember, this Laker team was built for the playoffs. Like, this team was never built to win 60 games. This team was built, let's get into the playoffs and let's see who can eliminate us with Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Russell Westbrook. So let's see if they're going to make a move. The Bulls, Zach LaVine, who is putting on some great performances lately, he's unhappy in Chicago. They don't look like a contender. So I know that he is hoping to make a move. He wants to come to LA. So let's see if the Lakers can somehow make something happen with that. The Raptors, they may be cleaning house, everyone. They may be trying to move some of their pieces. Siakam there. You have OG over there. You have Van Fleet over there. So are they going to clean house, or are they going to be one of those teams that continue to play and possibly be in the play-in? So a lot of eyes should be in Toronto right now because there may be a lot of moves made by that team. And the Pistons with Bojan Bogdanovic, is he worth your top-tier assets? The rumors here in LA is that they said that he's not worth one of the first picks, Kendrick Nunn and Patrick Beverly. Do you guys feel out there that he is worth that? I'm not sure if he's worth all of that. Maybe the two players and maybe a second-round pick. But, we're going to see what's going to happen. You see Jordan Clarkson, he turned down his contract extension. He doesn't want to be there in Utah, especially probably after seeing how Donovan Mitchell is cooking in Cleveland in a new place, because he said the environment is much better in Cleveland. So let's see what happens with Clarkson there in Utah. Like I said earlier, Van Fleet, he's a guy to look out for because he turned down his extension because he's probably wants to be traded as well. And Chris Middleton, he may test free agency this offseason. He just has to get healthy, because I think with a healthy Chris Middleton playing the way that he can play, I think the Bucks will be the favorites in the East. But let's see what happens. And LeBron James, he is showing no signs of slowing down. He looks like he's healthy. Let me know. Let me know down below in the comments. What do you guys think? When will he break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring record? Do you have a date? Do you have a game? Let me know, and we can talk about it more next week. But hey, I got another break for you. Then I will be back to give you more, baby. These are the breaks.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller.
All right, guys, I'm back. Enough of the NBA talk. We have to take you to the diamond now. The MLB news. Carlos Correa is not going to New York. He is staying in Minnesota to sign a 6-year, $200 million deal. I guess he doesn't want to live in that beautiful city over there and play for the Mets, who looks like a team to be reckoned with. He's going to be staying there in Minnesota, taking that check there. Something happened. I'm pretty sure we're going to find out exactly what. But Carlos Correa, he is going to be staying there. Hey, it's a good decision to me either way. You get $200 million for the next 6 years. He's a baller. I know Minnesota is going to try to put together a winner there. So let's see what happens with the Twins and Carlos Correa. But before I get out of here, I have to give a shout out to some big time players, college football players, because they announced the new 18 players who were elected into the College Football Hall of Fame. You got guys like one of the greatest college football players ever, Tim Tebow, Dwight Freeney, who played at Syracuse, Luke Kuechly from Boston College, Eric Berry, Derek Johnson, two Kansas City Chiefs greats from my squad. Shout out to Chiefs Kingdom, who are going to be in the College Football Hall of Fame. D'Angelo Williams, a great running back, played for the University of Memphis. Then you have Brian Westbrook, who was in it as well. But the biggest name that stood out to me was a Southern California guy who played here, who was legendary, one of the most exciting college football players that we have ever seen from his freshman year to his final game in college. It is the one and only Reggie Bush. He is going to be, or he is now, a college football Hall of Famer, well deserved. But that has me thinking, this guy deserves something else. If he can be a college football Hall of Famer, he deserves to have his Heisman Trophy back, guys. Heisman Trust, you have to figure this thing out. He didn't cheat the game by taking steroids and doing anything to make his body be enhanced to dominate. He was just a baller, and he took some money, which at the time was wrong. But that's what's allowed now, you know. So I think that it's time that Reggie Bush gets his Heisman back, and we can celebrate him as the Heisman winner that he is. Like I said, he's one of the greatest college football players of all times, one of the most exciting to see. I can remember everybody wanted to wear number 5 playing football in high school, college because of this guy. And now it is only right that he receives his Heisman Trophy back. Reggie Bush, I got your back, man. You deserve that trophy, and I can't wait till the Heisman Trust make the right decision. But I told you earlier, before I leave, I had to give you my predictions for Wild Card Weekend. So I got you game number 1. The Niners, Seahawks. I think that the 49ers take care of business. They're at home. That team is looking amazing. That defense is led by the possible defensive player of the year, Nick Bosa. They're going to have Debo back ready to go. They have Christian McCaffrey, and Brock Purdy is looking very purdy out there on the field and balling. So I have the Niners. I have the Jags over our Los Angeles Chargers. I think the Jags beat them earlier in the season, so they're going to be ready for them. And now they're going to be playing there at Duval County. So I have the Jags taking care of business. I have Buffalo over the Dolphins. Is Tua going to play? We haven't really got word, but I think that the Bills are going to take care of home because they're going to have that fire. DeMar Hamlin is probably going to be in the building, and that's going to give them an added push. The Vikings over the Giants. They barely beat them early in the season, but the Vikings are going to be ready to go. The Bengals over the Ravens again after defeating them at home week 18. Lamar Jackson, if he plays, is going to make it a scarier game, a much closer game, but I still have the defending AFC champions taking care of business. Then, sorry, Cowboy fans, but the Buccaneers are going to protect home. You should not want to face Tom Brady in the playoffs, and they pull them first. So I think that Mr. Tom Brady and Tampa Bay is going to take care of business. I know, Cowboys fans, you're probably going to hate me for this. I love Michael Parsons. I love Diggs, but Dak hasn't been balling this year. Like, Dak hasn't looked like that guy that everybody tries to make him. And I think that they're going to have a tough time versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I am going with the Bucs with an upset. I guess you call it an upset, Jeff. But, man, it's going to be crazy this weekend. I am so excited for the NFL wildcard weekend. We're going to see, like I said, the best of the best when it comes to NFL games. And this is the weekend. You get games Saturday, Sunday, you get a game on Monday night. It is heaven. That's what I call heaven. I know I'm a big hoop guy, but I am so excited for playoff football. And it's going to end with Tampa Bay and the Cowboys, but I'm telling you, I have a feeling that Tom Brady is going to take care of business. And you don't want to face them at all in the playoffs. They're going to be very dangerous. So let's see what's going to happen. I thank you guys for joining me on another Tuesday. Today, January the 10th. I am the one and only Mykell Mathieu, and y'all know what it is. Catch y'all next week. These are the breaks, baby.